Hi, Jeff. Thank you so much for being willing to let me interview today. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And thank you again for having me here. I'm really excited to chat.
As you know, what I've been doing is I've been asking some students who've been learning about the receiving principles through different programs, in particular the Receive course, to just have a conversation with me as a way for other people who are thinking about it to explore, what's possible for them and if it's a match for the things that they're, moving towards in their lives.
Sure.
I like to start with the first question, which is, kind of the sort of an obvious place to start, which is what was your original reason for deciding to do the Receive course or for wanting to do it?
Sure. So, you and I had connected, I think way back in 2008. And ever since then, I've just been very interested in your teachings. And in 2016, you taught me about willingness statements. That was my first dose of receiving. And at the time, I was working in an office. I was very unhappy, and all I wanted to do was work from home, have a very flexible schedule. And because of the willingness statements, for the past 6 years, I've been working from home with a flexible schedule. So, from that experience, I'm at a point in my life where I really wanted to expand my consciousness, learn how to receive and manifest my dharma, my purpose, why I'm here, and how can I manifest everything that I want in my life and just have a wonderful time. And over the past few weeks, I feel like I'm very, very close due to some of the awesome things that have come up.
Right. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, one of the reasons I reached out to you and I was so excited is, I have noticed now teaching the Receive course in different iterations as it evolves that as soon as people start to practice the principles, things start to happen quite quickly. There's always a subset where they have a little bit of a different journey in ramping up, but pretty much it's very simple. It works quickly. And so, yeah, I was kind of curious to ask, because that's been happening for you now. Do you remember when you actually got the Receive course, when you registered, and how long it's been since you've been playing with the principles and practices?
So I want to say 2 weeks. So not that long, and things are starting to happen. But like you said, the minute I started applying, that's when things just opened up for me.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Always makes me so excited. So with just 2 weeks of exposure, and you've been really good. I mean, I know you're watching the videos, you're showing up to the Q&A calls on Thursdays. Can you tell me, at least from where you stand right now, what's been maybe, one of the most impactful either things that you've learned or just principles that have really, made a difference for you?
Sure. So I'm probably 6 modules in. I keep going back to the first couple modules, but I've really learned how to create space for myself, my desires. One thing that was just paramount was learning that I'm grateful for what I have now compared to 2016, and thinking back to then and coming back to present and just saying, well, I'm actually where I want to be, compared to then. And then finally, I've always been into manifesting, and I never really understood why I would attract some things, some of my desires, but not others. And the thing about chasing the feeling, not the want, has been really, really helpful for me. So in every area of my life, I've looked at what is the feeling I'm after. And because of that, over the past few weeks, things have been just coming left and right. Stress levels have been down at home. And so those were the things that really, really stand out. Another thing is my learning that my fulfillment is already here. It exists here, was something I've never really thought about. And once you're open to receiving it, you can start seeing things and things start coming to you.
Yeah, that's great. So for people who maybe have a little bit of exposure, just to kind of state these things clearly. So first of all, the Receive course has 10 modules, which are the 10 powers of being. And so what I'm hearing you say, that's what's standing out for you, is the concept of space, like what it is, why it's essential to receiving. Um, the chasing the feeling, that lesson's really about learning how to focus on the essence or the feeling of what you want so that the form can actually show up. And then what was the last thing you said that was, oh, the fulfillment. Yeah. So that's the idea that you already are all that you seek to be, do, and have. It's already here. So if you're
Mhm.
not experiencing it, it's not because it's missing, it's because we're not able to open up to the experience of it. And you're having a shift around that.
Correct, correct. And up until this point, I've always been a seeker. I need to, I need to do. And I've realized that once you realize everything's here, you can just receive,
Yeah.
and be the receiver, which is incredible.
That's awesome. So with that, again, what prompted me to reach out was, it was just so great to hear everything that's opening up for you. Could you share what you've been receiving on an inner level? You already shared a little bit, also an outer level.
Sure. So, I have a list, which, I shared on a recent call, but one thing that I haven't done in a long time is pick up my guitar and write a song. And I went out for a walk with the dog, literally around the block, and it felt like the muse was just sitting on my shoulder. And I got my phone out and I wrote an entire song just on a walk, and was able to come home, put music to it. So to me, that was just incredible. Again, things at home have been really less stressful. Our son went to a doctor's appointment, and usually he freaks out, and he was totally fine. So that was really cool too. And then I had a few instances where books were recommended to me, courses, and I actually followed that breadcrumb and bought one of the books. I'm 30 pages in, and it's going to absolutely change my hypnosis business, which I've talked to you about. And thank God I followed my gut feeling and purchased the book. And I shared a lot of this with my dad, and I think I shared this with you. And him and my mom are retired, and he fishes, and he's used the technique too. And he said there are days I can't even sit down because the fish are just biting left and right. So a lot of stuff has happened, but I think one area of struggle has always been work, and how can I get clients. And it just seems like things are opening up over the past week. I've had prospects that weren't there before, and just reach out. Hey, I missed the original message. Do you still want to chat? And so it's been incredible.
Something that you said, Jeff, just reminded me of a conversation that we had, which is where you had followed a guided process to really get in touch with the feeling of fulfillment, right?
Mhm.
It's actually shift from seeking to seeing through sensing. That was the practice. And you wrote to me, you said, I really connected with that feeling, but I also saw that I'm concerned that if I really go for what I want, I don't know how to navigate my concerns about, being away from my family and how I want to be as a husband and a father. And so we worked on that, on receiving that as well. And then you attracted this book, which really is the story of a man who's doing, that's a non-issue. He's doing the work he wants to do, and he's with his family. Kind of presents the possibility of, oh, I can really do this. So
Mhm.
that was really cool to see. That was a, you focus on the essence of in a way of solution for all of this, and then this lead from the universe, this breadcrumb, just showed up.
Right. And yeah, and, exactly that. And it's funny because, I expressed that fear to you, and that's something that's always held me back. And, during a mentor session, I was told, well, hey, this person is doing exactly this. And in fact, he has 7 or 8 kids that he gets to spend time with all the time. And, he talks about it in this book. And to me, it was just so eye-opening. And I really feel if I wasn't taking this course, I wouldn't have recognized it, and I don't know if that would have come up. So so yeah, it was a really, really neat experience.
Awesome. That's great. I could just go down that rabbit hole, but I'm going to stay on track. So, well, the final question then is, just so other people can connect with possibilities for them, why would you recommend the Receive course? And who do you think it would be a good match for? Like what would they be looking for that this could solve problems for them?
Sure, sure. So, I think this would be great for anyone, male or female, who wants to really receive their greatest desires, their life partner, a career, where they live. Also, those who have been into the law of attraction and need to fill in the gap. Again, I've been studying this for over 15 years. And because of this course, I've realized, and now looking back at some of the books that I've read, that I was doing it wrong, and it's really about the essence, which you talk about. So people who are looking to fill in the gaps there. And again, I think people who are looking to, they're struggling with attracting the right opportunities, and the right people into their lives. And if you're open, I think, as a human, and you recognize, again, the breadcrumbs, miracles do happen, and they're already here. So I would recommend this to anyone and everyone. I've definitely recommended it to a lot of people thus far. So
All right. Well, thank you, Jeff, for your time and for sharing your enthusiasm and your journey, because I know it will help other people connect dots for themselves. So I really appreciate your time.
absolutely, you too, and thank you very much.